All right, we're coming into episode 12 of the High Octane Dads podcast. This week's going to be pretty short and sweet for us. We're picking back up with Chris, having a talk with Ross, and we left off last week. He was just saying that he didn't get the peel of the Miatas. So if you guys don't agree, come fight us. But yeah, you ready to get started, Chris?
Oh yeah, let's get started.
Good deal. We'll jump into that. We'll come back right at the end, maybe with a few. I got a couple new pieces of camera gear I'm excited to try out when we get to LS Fest, so I'll talk about those briefly, and then we'll end this one and see you guys in episode 13.
I drove Lingenfelter's car in an autocross some years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's definitely a pretty wild experience being able to just throw that thing into a corner. But
yeah. When you get passed by every other single car on the straight that's out there, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
And I will say, I remember, so when I met like Dave Lingenfelter and Scott and all them, was in Bruce.
Yeah.
Everybody was years ago on the autocross there in Verona.
Yeah.
It was very humbling, just even on an autocross.
Oh, yeah. Autocross, they're wonderful. Road course.
Yeah.
But
it was
they're still
humbling
good.
Learning on just how much you don't have control.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, it wasn't anything to spin a car out.
Yeah.
And given the parking lot over there wasn't the best, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never done anything like that before, I remember the first time I went out, I spun it out in a corner. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I just did a full donut and kept on getting it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it teaches you a whole lot.
It teaches you a lot. Autocross is great to learn car control.
Oh, yeah.
So, even if you're a road course racer, I still think you should do some autocrosses occasionally because it really teaches you to feel that limit.
Yeah.
Lots of times on a road course, getting to that limit, if you step over the limit, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So autocross can teach you where that limit is in a safe, controlled environment. You're not going 100 miles an hour.
Right.
So yeah, I still enjoy gonna do an autocross tomorrow since our race this weekend got canceled.
Much like doing donuts in school parking lots.
Yep, that helps too. That's good too. Yeah.
In the snow, or just in general.
Yeah, let these kids get out there in the snow and mess around.
Yeah, I remember as a kid,
Which everybody has front wheel drive now, so you just turn the wheel and you just drive into a curb.
So I remember Mom had a 97 Jetta.
Yep.
Me and my friends blasted that thing through so much nonsense.
Yep.
And it's probably why the trans broke in it later. Sorry, Mom.
Could be.
But, no, I mean, we went through so much snow, riding around. And then, like, my buddies had, one of them had a Taurus wagon. We were out there doing donuts and that. One of them had, like, an old Toyota, was before, I think they were Tacomas, but it was something else.
T100?
No, this was the smaller truck.
Okay.
It was like the 80s Tacoma.
Okay. I don't know.
Like an 85.
I'm not a car guy. I don't know.
But I remember us going out there, I remember he DB'd a tire one time on something. Yeah. It was good times, though.
Yeah.
I remember blasting through, sliding around. They're like, man, you're going to be a rally driver one day. I'm like, probably not.
Man, those rally drivers are insane.
They are.
It's just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you see them going in these little pig paths doing like 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Them and motorcycle racers are just not human.
Doing 45 on a mini bike is kind of all I need.
Yeah. I mean, when you see these MotoGP guys dragging their shoulder on the ground, it's just nuts.
Yeah, I'm not.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not about all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could be. Lean that thing over.
I guess call me a pussy if you want.
Yeah.
I like a cage around me.
We could put a cage on the mini bike just in case.
You know what? There's some mini bike races that go on that are apparently pretty big deals, but man, it sounds like it could be really painful.
Oh yeah.
Really painful.
Yeah.
But some of these guys, they're like, because the one that I've got, they were like, oh yeah, the frame tends the brake at the front if you're jumping it a lot. I'm like, you guys are jumping these things? I'm like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I mean, given it's still a bigger mini bike than, some of those old ones, but I don't know, that's a lot of weight on that thing.
Yeah, I don't want to get hurt doing stuff.
Doing dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. Donuts in a field, with an old Clefdale F-150.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But, doing a couple 100 mile an hour on a motorcycle or dragging your shoulder on the ground.
Nope, that doesn't appeal to me.
No, not at all.
I never had a motorcycle. I knew what would happen.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having like a supermoto or something. Something that's not fast.
Yeah.
Something I could just be walk around town on.
You get one of those Groms. What are those things?
Yeah, they're expensive for what they are.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like $5,000 or $6,000 or more.
Really?
I'm not a fan. Or I'd just buy an Enduro.
Yeah.
But I don't need it. My wife's like, you're not getting one. I was like, it just makes me want to get one.
Yeah, don't say that to somebody.
Yeah. So what about the VQ cars? What do you think about those?
Well, as an owner of one, I think they suck.
Yeah.
No, my Infinity, if it was a manual, I would like it a lot more.
Yeah. Those are hard to find manual.
Yeah. I don't like the transmission in the way that it's programmed.
Okay.
It's nothing wrong with the transmission itself. It's programming. This thing was programmed by an intern.
Yeah.
If you're just driving normally, it's like it's trying to emulate a manual transmission.
Okay.
Like the shifts are real slow and lazy.
Yeah.
You know, if you got your foot in it a little bit, it's quick and snappy the way it should be. My God, my 30-year-old truck shifts better than this Infinity.
Yeah.
You know, really, it's been fine. I've got it's a 2013, so it's 11 years old.
What about when the exhaust broke?
Oh, well, then it sounds awful. But it's got 213,000 miles on it.
That's great.
And all I've had to put a water pump on it last year at like 180, 190, and had to put a front wheel bearing on it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Do you see a lot of those cars out there on the tracks?
No. They're too new for one thing. For Chump Car, they're too new.
Okay.
Everything Chump Car is 20 years old.
Okay.
Minimum, you know. No, too heavy for that. You don't see that much.
Yeah.
Now in the drifting world, you're starting to see them more now.
Right.
You know, the coupes that are rear wheel drive. Mine's all wheel drive. If you can find one a manual, like G35s, you see a few more of those manual coupes, like a 350Z.
Yeah.
You know, you're starting to see a lot more of them now.
Oh,
They're getting cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of beginning to be the more entry level drift car.
Yeah.
Which I'm not into the whole drift stuff.
I'm not either.
It's fun to watch.
It's impressive. The pro guys, and I've only seen this at Hyperfest, and this isn't a full blown drift event, but the good guys, I mean, it's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are going 90 miles an hour sideways, literally sideways.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like at LS Fest, they have a big pad they do the drift event on, and I'm standing there at the retaining wall. You know, there's a fence up watching them, and I'm getting hammered with rubber as they go flying by me, doing 70, 80 miles an hour. I'm like, this is insane.
People spend some big money on those drift cars too.
Oh,
That's tearing up stuff all the time.
Yeah.
That's expensive at the higher levels.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, anything at the upper level is expensive. You pick your sport.
The tires they go through.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you go through quite a bit of tires.
Yeah, you know, super different level. Chump Car, that's on a street tire, a 200 tread wear street tire, so not a slick. Depending on which one you get, a set of those tires would last anywhere from 8 to 24 hours.
Okay.
You know, the faster tires, of course, are going to wear slower, so you're just kind of balancing how fast you can afford to go, really. Right. With NASA, with the Spec 3, our tire is spec'd, so it's a Toyo RR, which is an R compound, semi-slick racing tire. But even with that, we kind of look at it more in heat cycles than wear. So, you know, the more you heat cycle a tire, you're baking out the good stuff, and the tire gets harder.
Right.
So the more you cycle it, you're slowing down.
Right.
So we can get about 12 good heat cycles out of it, and after that, you really start seeing drop off. The tire's not worn out, but it's just it's getting slow.
Right. It's getting kind of hard.
Yeah, getting hard. You know, the heat bakes out the oils in the tire that keeps it soft. Okay. You know, it's a matter again of money. You know, how fresh do you want to keep your tires? Yeah. And that is a place where you can gain an advantage over your competitors. Okay. You know, how fresh your tires are. You know, we saw that at the last race. You know, we were all on a little bit older tire. Right. And one guy shows up, he's on sticker tires, which is going to happen. You know, everybody's on different schedules of buying tires.
Right.
And he's, clearly faster than the rest of us.
Yeah.
He's fast anyway.
Right.
But, sticker tires are worth a second over a 10, 12 heat cycle tire. And then we have a rain tire too. So we've got a dry tire and a rain tire.
So what's the rain tire that you like?
The rain tire is a Toyo RA1.
Okay.
So similar compound to the RR, but just more tread, more grooves in it for rain. So we'll race in the rain. Not a real heavy downpour, but certainly damp, light rain.
Right.
We'll still race.
So have you always been into cars?
I said I'm not a car guy. I really wouldn't say I'm a car guy in the hardcore sense.
Right.
I like racing.
Yeah.
I like the competition.
Right.
So I've always, even as a kid, we'd go-kart racing, driving, and, I loved that. But, you and James, you talk about family being into cars. I didn't really have that. My dad wasn't really a car guy. He liked cars. He can do mechanical stuff, but he wasn't, into it.
Right.
So I just liked, watching racing. I like doing stuff with my hands. I like working on the car, but I'm not a hardcore car guy. James talking about Top Gear. Once Top Gear went off the air, I couldn't tell you the latest, supercar. I couldn't tell you what Ferrari has.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I really like the competition of it.
Okay.
I like cars. I like speed. I like the noise. I like the smells. I dread thinking about things might go electric in racing. I'll just quit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to race an electric car.
Yeah.
No way.
Electric go-karts are kind of fun, but that's about where I draw the line.
Yeah, like an indoor electric go-kart or something. That's fun, but that's different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
But I'm not a real car guy. I just, I started in high school, did a couple of autocrosses. I had a 300ZX that I autocrossed a couple times, and then I wrapped it around a tree.
Yeah.
And then went to college. And
so how did that happen?
So I was a lifeguard at a pool.
Oh.
And one day it was raining.
Oh.
So nobody was there. And I just decided, well, let's go take some rides in my car.
Yeah.
Like an idiot. So I shifted out of second into third, and it spun the tires.
Yeah.
And it just, those 300ZXs, real short wheelbase.
Yeah.
Man, it just whipped around in an instant, felt like, and hit a tree right at the mirror, basically. Caved the side of the car basically over to the transmission tunnel.
Oh. It looked like a pretty gnarly wreck.
It was a gnarly wreck.
Yeah.
If I had hit, a foot further back, I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Right.
So that was kind of eye opening. Don't need to be doing silly stuff on the street.
Yeah.
So, but then that was the summer before going to college. Went to college, didn't do any car stuff then. Kind of got big into paintball, silly as that sounds. Did a lot
That's
of
something you hear about a lot these days.
yeah, paintball's falling off. Kids don't do anything these days. They just want to, play on their tablets and stuff. So kids don't do anything fun anymore. But then out of college, started thinking about, maybe doing something. Was going to originally just get back into autocrossing.
Right.
Is kind of what I thought about doing there. I had actually bought a CRX.
Okay.
Right before we started doing the Lemons racing, that I was going to start trying to, just start doing autocross with.
Right.
And then
Those cars do pretty well, don't they?
Yeah. They're kind of like a Miata, but front wheel drive.
Yeah.
Small, short wheelbase, nimble. Then we started doing the Lemons racing, and here we are.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to think about not racing. It's my release of stress, and that's my thing.
Yeah.
I like to go out in the garage and just work on the car.
Yeah.
Working on the car is just, that's enjoyable for me. Some people don't like necessarily the mechanics side of it, I guess, but that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
There was, between the Prelude and the BMW, there was a little gap where I didn't have anything to do. We brought Michael's Camaro over here, and I just messed around on it, did a bunch of little aero stuff on it, just to have something to do.
So when you're out working on stuff, do you prefer to be alone or have somebody out there helping you?
I'm hardly ever alone in this madhouse.
Well, I mean, as far as helper working.
Nah, I prefer to be alone.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am.
Yeah, I prefer to be alone. Yeah, I like my alone time. If we go on a vacation or something, Katie will tell you, we'll come home and I'll just disappear.
Yeah.
I'll come out here and listen to music or go out in the garage. I need my alone
Yeah.
time. I prefer to be alone.
And that's how I am. Like, I've had people tell me, hey, man, if you want me to help come over work on something, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that I don't appreciate it, but
I don't mind working with the right person.
Right.
You
and
know?
that's hard to find because
Yeah.
I have a couple people that I've done stuff with, and we do really well, and they'll keep me on track. Because
Yeah.
if not, we'll stop and start be doing shit like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Or get to really hammering beers,
Yeah.
and then we don't get anything accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah. My buddy Ryan Long, he's an amazing fabricator, welder. He helped me do the roll cage in my car
Right.
and Scott's car. So, he comes over, we work on stuff. That's fine. But it takes the right person for me to.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Like I said, last year when I did the work on my Caprice, I had a friend of mine just randomly showed up as I was getting ready to pull the engine. It was great. He hung out for like an hour and a half. He helped me pull the engine, but most of that time was us standing there talking. Once he was gone, I'm like, all right, I got to get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I would do. I'd go out every evening, do a little bit every day, just sit out there.
Yep.
Put a podcast on or listen to music and just tinker for an hour or two and then go back in the house.
Yep. That's my release. I'll come home from work. My job can be stressful sometimes, and I just go out in the garage. I need 45 minutes, an hour to myself.
Yeah.
May not do anything, but just sit there at the workbench and just drink a Miller Lite.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I've
but
done that.
That's my thing. I don't, I'm not big on video games and watching TV and stuff like that, really. I like to be out there in the garage by myself, listening to music, or out here listening to music.
Yep.
And that's
Even
it.
more, if I sit around and watch any TV, it's probably all social media, YouTube based, car stuff. Or like I've got a few people that I follow that do go-karts and mini bikes and things like that. And I'll watch stuff and learn some things. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll try that next time I go out there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild. Well, or documentaries. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You smoke
crime documentaries?
I don't know, a little bit of everything.
Okay.
A little bit of everything. I mean, I guess that's kind of thing.
Alien conspiracy theories?
Oh, all of it.
Yeah.
We get conspiracy theories. I'm pretty convinced we never went on the moon.
You think so?
I don't know. I mean,
Can't you see the moon,
I don't know.
the
That's
lander
what I've
with a
heard.
telescope?
I don't have a good telescope. I don't know. We probably did. There's just a whole lot of weird shit behind it. A lot of different things, but yeah.
So the latest I heard was it was real, but like some of the footage was faked because we went up there to recover alien technology.
Yeah.
Do we have guests?
Yeah, I seen somebody peeking around the corner.
So yeah, we went up there to recover alien technology.
Oh, wow.
And we had to beat the Russians there to get it.
Okay.
I think Michael Kelly told me that on the way back from the Creed concert. He's big into conspiracies. You should talk to him about some conspiracies.
So what I remember that night we were over there was watching the Freedom 500.
Yeah.
And he started rambling on about something. I've got it on
He's
video.
into it.
I've got it on video somewhere.
He thinks that there was an ancient civilization on Earth before us.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
could be.
Like before humans.
Yeah.
Okay. Very possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have giant lizards supposedly. Well, which we think they look, they didn't have hair or whatever.
Right.
Huh. That's good to know.
I would believe anything. If it came out that some of these humans are really lizards in disguise.
Yeah.
At this point in the world, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, man, I believe it.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Something's out there.
The government's confirmed UFOs.
Yeah, but they weren't necessarily saying it was from space, were they? They were saying more
we
so,
don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah, it's something up there. But then I'm like,
If it's not us, then who is it?
then I'm like, all right, well that's hard to
Canada?
Because they're probably zooming in and looking at us right now
Fucking idiots.
in like 4K.
Yeah.
So you telling me you're taking pictures of this blurry thing way out there? Come on now. I don't know. We can get into all sorts of crazy conspiracy. And we're not even drinking yet.
I know. We could be.
Yeah.
That's the refrigerator right there.
Yeah. So, like, I guess Dave and all them, did you meet, well, I mean, you probably went to school with Dave.
I did, but I didn't know Dave. We weren't in the same grade.
Okay.
So
That's kind of like us. We weren't in the same
yeah,
grade.
yeah. I just kind of met those guys through autocross and Facebook groups. There's a certain secret Facebook society that we're all members of.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, we'll have to. So Michael Kelly originally started that.
Started what?
This secret group.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was more so on a spoof because of a friend of ours that he called it was like my follower.
Uh huh.
And so he started that group, and then now here we are.
So you're the godfather of Augusta County. So we have the legend,
Yeah.
former legend,
Yeah.
I think at this point, of Augusta County.
Yeah.
And you're the godfather. Everybody knows Chris Mayo.
Yeah.
You send reels and memes to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have enough time in the day to send reels to everyone, but everybody loves Chris Mayo.
Yeah. I don't know why. Now, if it could pay off, that'd be great.
Yep. Yep.
I'm trying to quit my job.
That won't really pay off.
No.
You know?
No, it wouldn't. But I think we do have somebody peeking around at us.
It's shocking.
Yeah. That's how it is in my house. I mean, with 4 of them.
Yeah, you gotta really, you really gotta hide at your house.
Well, and they're at very different stages in life too. Which me and my wife were talking about that the other day. You know, we have a teenager. We have one that's a preteen.
Yeah.
Both of those are girls.
Yeah, yours are really spread out.
And then the boys, they're one's just coming out of diapers, one's in diapers. So, 10-10 I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah. So we've got.
I mean, it's exciting because we have, like I said, the girls are in that real emotional stage.
Yeah.
They hate us.
Yeah.
And then we don't do enough for them.
Yep.
And then we have the young boys where they want all of our attention.
Right.
So, it's a lot.
Yeah, our girls are 8 and 5, so they still like us.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
But I have 2 younger sisters, so I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Teenage girls, man, that's tough.
Yeah, the last year and a half for us has been really rough with our oldest.
Yeah.
And so she'll be 16 next weekend. Well, then James, he'll be 4, so they share the same birthday, but
Oh, really?
12 years apart.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So their birthday's next weekend, and so the oldest, we bought her that Volvo.
Yep.
It's not a bad car.
My uncle used to have an S80 T6, so the turbo
Yeah.
thing. Whenever he would come down here to be with my grandparents, they lived out here, I would take it out on the avenue.
Yeah.
Back when that was a thing.
Yeah.
You just smoke people.
They're
That thing
quick
was
for what
so
they are.
fast.
Yeah.
We'd load up. We'd have 4 people in that thing, just murdering people. Yeah.
So this one's the T5, and I mean it runs well. It's just they're a maintenance nightmare.
Yeah.
And I've never owned a European car until this. It comes with a lot of pretty cool tech that some cars now are just getting.
Yeah.
But it's just all the little piddly maintenance, and like I'm dealing with oil leaks, and I got to do the timing belt at some. It broke the serpentine belt a couple weeks ago, and I picked up a new one. Apparently, it's way too short, even though it's the one they call for. And people online were like, "Oh no, you need this belt." And so now I'm trying to search and find this.
You guys were talking on an episode or so ago about getting good parts.
Yeah.
And that can be such a struggle.
Yeah.
Really, with that Honda, it was because Honda doesn't support their older cars very well as far as still making OEM parts. So everything's aftermarket, and it's just junk.
Really?
If that box says "Made in China" on it, get good at replacing whatever it is, because you're going to be doing it again and again and again. This BMW is amazing.
Really?
You can still get original BMW parts for almost anything.
Right.
Like crazy stuff that you wouldn't think of, like the door seals. This thing's 30 years old, and you can buy it brand new from BMW.
Really?
And there's a company that we get a lot of parts from, FCP Euro. They carry a lot of original BMW, real high quality parts. So that's been a huge relief with this BMW compared to the Honda, is the quality of parts that are available for it. Yeah, it's been amazing and not that expensive, really.
And I mean, we give BMWs a hard time. But,
Oh yeah, we hate BMWs. I'm not a BMW guy. I don't like BMWs.
The ultimate driving
I just have one. No, this thing, it's like you're driving a tractor motor. It revs to 6,500 RPM.
Yeah.
Where we would shift the Honda, this thing's bending valves.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as exciting to drive as the Prelude was.
Really?
Man, that Prelude, 8,000 RPM, screaming, sound like a Formula One car back when they used to sound good.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing was wild.
Yeah.
This BMW is very tame in comparison.
Huh.
It's quieter.
Oh, I'm sure.
We have to run a muffler on it, so it's a lot quieter and doesn't rev.
Well, and you're not running. Well, I mean, I'm sure the muffler would have helped in some of those long races.
Yeah, the noise does get fatiguing, but
Yeah.
you got to put on a show for the fans first and foremost.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So side pipe right up beside your ear, part of it.
Yeah. What about he ran it out the opposite side? Would that help a little bit?
Yeah, it was out the passenger side.
Okay.
I ran out the passenger side because the way we run the track, that's pointing at the pits.
Oh yeah.
So you
That
want
makes
everybody to hear it.
Hell yeah.
That car sounded good. Those
Yeah.
big block H22s,
Hell yeah.
that was a good sounding
So that's
engine.
Speaking of like Hondas, I always wanted to put together like a 96 to 2000 or 99 coupe, whatever I don't know the breakdown.
I don't either.
But do
Not a
one
car
with
guy.
with an H22 swap.
Yeah.
And just make a nice driver. Not like I don't want all those tilty wheels like the kids are doing these days.
Yeah, no.
But something kind of like from our era. Not necessarily with all the body kit and things like that,
Yeah.
but a stock looking car with a nice setup
Yeah.
that runs and drives well.
The engines are drying up. So again, COVID wrecked all the importing of engines. It used to be you could get an H22 for $1,000 from an importer. How many do you want? You can't even get them now.
Really?
No. So everything's going K series now in the Honda world. The BH series engines, you just can't get them.
Really?
No. And if you get one, it's used. It's been overheated 3 times.
Yeah.
It's got
Well,
rod knock.
You figure they're 20 plus years old this point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, like I remember.
Yeah, we're getting old, Chris Mayo.
Yeah.
These engines are not getting any younger.
So, I came to that realization a few weeks ago at work. This boy that I was working with, I'd like to have him on here one day, him and his brother.
Uh-huh.
But we were making fun of him, and we were basically telling him he looked like that kid from Matilda eating chocolate cake. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, Matilda, you don't know what that movie is? He said, huh? I said, no, it's probably before your time. We were born 96, 98. He said, what? I said, yeah. He's like, you're way off, bud.
Yeah.
He goes, 2002. I said, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a girl that works with me, my assistant. She was born in 2000.
Yeah.
She's 24 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
Like in 2000, I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
I'm so old.
Yeah.
I'm like one of the oldest people at work.
Really?
And yeah, where I work.
Wow.
And I'm 38. I'm not that old. Damn it.
Wow.
But yeah, these kids today.
I'm still where I'm at now. I'm still probably on the younger side,
Yeah.
but I'm getting kind of in the middle there. I mean, there's some people, like I said, this guy, he's younger than me, but there's a lot of guys that are in their mid-20s. I started there when I was 19, so.
Yeah. Yeah, where I work in the bank, in the branches, it's a young workforce.
Really?
I'm an old man
Yeah.
at 38.
Oh, you're going to own that thing for too long.
Maybe. Maybe.
All right. Well, that was the end of the interview with Ross. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's our first time, working on getting, a guest in here. Audio qualities were, a little less than what we do when we're recording here, but we're looking at getting some additional microphones and things, so that'll definitely improve. But again, comment and all that stuff. Let us know your feedback. What can we do better? We're going to continue doing this thing, but we want to make it the best that it can be. So keep in touch with us. And Chris, you got anything else you want to say before we head out?
Just don't forget, you go to our page and do invite all on all your
Everybody.
social medias. I know Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on X, but I basically we get on there and post, new episodes. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Last week when we put up the new episode, it went up as a video episode on Spotify.
That's pretty cool.
I have not looked into it and actually watched it through there yet. I haven't tried the audio on the other two apps also. So if people are having problems with it, let us know and we'll try to figure that out. Uh, but if it's not working on, iHeart or Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify and it's on YouTube. So get on there and like and follow us. You'll see them all.
Yep. Yeah. Any feedback is good feedback. So yeah, I got a couple more memory cards in my new tripod that I'm trying out tonight, and then got a new belt that it's like a holster system for your DSLR cameras, so I can carry them around without them being strapped on my back or over my shoulders. Keeps me hands free and all. So I'm been trying that out. Pretty excited to check it out. Also went out to Silver Dollar Motorsports Park here in Central Georgia last Friday. Posted a few of the pictures on a reel, but I should be finishing editing those up tomorrow, and I'll post some more to the page. Met some of the racers and going to send them the photos as well. But it was a lot of fun to get out and get some practice and seen some really cool cars. There was a really nice third-gen Camaro there, bright orange. It was pretty sweet, so I've got some pictures of it making a pass as well. But yeah, we'll cap this one off, and then we'll come in and see you guys at episode 13.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Well, talk to you next week, Chris. Everybody, have a good evening, folks.
See ya.